Now, once you've downloaded it, it comes as a link. It comes as just a software. So when you open it, you'll see something like this. When you right click and you open, this is how it will open. So you'll just come here to open. You wouldn't imagine that it's not working. You just come here and open. So when you click open, now this is the SPSS interface. This is how it looks like. And this is now what you're going to be looking at in the next few minutes. So this is the SPSS interface. Looks more or the same, but with advanced tools, but like Excel. It's actually easier to use when we understand how to put the variables. So this is the SPSS interface. It has the data view and it has the variable view. So this is what you'll be looking at, the data view and the variable view. So this is how the interface will look like. You only need to understand that you'll be looking, when you want to look at the variables, you'll create your variables here. And then when you analyze data, you'll be at the data view as you are going to be seeing. So this is the data view. In this view, this is where we are going to be analyzing our data. This data view. So this data view has columns and it has rows. So these rows they display, so this actually the data, this actually displays the real data. This is the real data. But I'm saying the rows represent the cases of observation. That is the objects on which data are being collected. For example, in your questionnaire, you were asking people, please state your age. So this will be the first variable. Age will be your first variable, depending on your questionnaire. The next question, maybe you would ask people, what's your level of education? So the next variable is going to be the level of education. The next variable, if in your questionnaire, you would ask people from which region do you come from or what's your race. So we normally get these variables from our questionnaires. This is an example of a questionnaire. For example, we'll be looking at this demographic information for a starter in our data analysis today. So maybe the questionnaire was just about to understand the teenage pregnancy and mental health. What's the relationship between teenage pregnancy and mental health? A case study of a girls' slum in Kenya would have been more specific, maybe, so that we have our area limited. So the first question is age. So you realize that age is going to be our first variable. Level of education, and this level of education, I've categorized it so that it becomes easy for us to analyze. Marital status, they were single, married, or divorced. The number of children that they have, and the living maybe situation. So we'll be looking at maybe this data analysis for today's session. So now these ones becomes our variables. Age will be our first variable. Level of education becomes our second variable. Marital status becomes our third variable. Number of children, living situation. But we're going to see again, we are going to see how we name the variables. Okay, so we're in the data, we are going to be in the data view. This is where the real data analysis takes place, as I've just said, but you cannot be in the data view before you've defined your variables. So we said this, they represent the variables, while the columns will represent the real data. If it's age, if the age is 15, now 15 will be in the answers in the columns. Okay, now in the variable view, this is where we define our variables. We define the characteristics of the variables. For example, if our first variable was age, we are going to look at what is the type, what type is age, as I'll be showing it with you. So this is how the variable view looks like. You have to define all your variables into this variable view. How do you define your variables?